Hello, I'm Alex from Fontain Motors. Welcome to another of our buying guide videos, and today we're going to be talking about the third generation or C7 model Audi RS6 Avant that ran from 2013 to 2018, facelift model in 2015, and the performance variant launched in 2016. Mechanically, it's a very similar car to the RS7 Sportback, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to stick to the RS6 as that made up the volume of sales in the UK. All versions of the C7 RS6 use the same 4-litre twin turbocharged V8 with cylinder on demand. They all use the 8-speed Tiptronic transmission, quattro 4-wheel drive, and UK cars are fitted with sport differential, that's the torque vectoring diff, in the rear axle as standard. The basic RS6 has 560 PS. The performance version has 605 PS. Facelift cars from 2015 on didn't have any more power than they did before the facelift, but there were some improvements to emissions and fuel economy that as a pleasant bonus got you slightly cheaper road tax too. Driving and performance. Even the standard RS6 has 560 PS metric horsepower, 62 in 3.9 seconds. I won't go on too much on performance figures because they're pretty well documented, videoed, recorded elsewhere. Chances are you know them already. Suffice to say, if it isn't quick enough for you, I don't know what is. The noise, and for a lot of people, reason enough to buy the car all on its own. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I'm going to let the car speak for itself. All RS6s sound pretty good. It's a beautiful sounding engine, even better still with the factory fitted sport exhaust that a lot of people did choose as an option. Gearbox and 4-wheel drive. As I said, all RS6s use the 8-speed Tiptronic transmission, does a lovely Jekyll and Hyde impression, beautifully smooth under normal driving, very refined, lovely and quiet on the motorway thanks to tall gearing, but also plenty quick when you're pressing on. Quattro 4-wheel drive fitted as standard to all cars. It is a full-time 4-wheel drive system, and UK RS6s all get the Quattro Sport differential in the rear axle, which gives you torque vectoring, contributing massively to the car's agility. That is one of the reasons why this car, despite being quite big, really does feel like it shrinks around you. It is not unwieldy, it's not a daunting size. You can use it, it does work well in the UK. Comfort and practicality. First and foremost, this is an A6 Avant. It has a massive boot. It can fit 4 full-size grown-ups in it comfortably, and RS6s come very well equipped. The electric memory super sport seats are standard. They're very supportive. They're great on a long journey, help you get out feeling relaxed. Rear seat passengers won't complain about knee room, and the ride quality is really very good indeed, particularly in comfort mode, as they do have adaptive air suspension as standard. For a holiday or for a road trip, touching back on the gearbox again, they're pretty tall geared, so at sensible motorway speeds they're barely doing 2000 RPM. When you are cruising, the cylinder on demand means that the engine's running on just 4 cylinders, so even fuel economy is very good. Everything you might like about an A6 is here, but with awesome performance on top. It is a very easy car to use every single day, should you choose to. Equipment and options. What came as standard? At launch 2013, RS6 was actually pretty well equipped as standard for an Audi. All cars got 20-inch wheels, adaptive air suspension, Bose speakers, electric memory super sport seats that were heated as well. 2015, in the facelift, they gained some styling tweaks as well as the distinctive LED matrix headlamps. And the performance variant, launched in 2016, took that and went a little bit further with 21-inch wheels as standard, sport exhaust, carbon and Alcantara inside with blue highlights, and a bit more power. Colours. Starting inside, because that's quick and easy, they were available with black or lunar silver, which is like an off-white sort of magnolia colour. Most people in the UK went for the black. Paint colours, pretty traditional RS colours really. The most desirable ones are blacks, dark blues, particularly Sepang, and Daytona grey. Red and white cars, few around, tend to be a little bit cheaper. And if you were really feeling flush when ordering one, you could go to Audi exclusive and have either an Audi paint from a different car, or if you found something else you liked, Audi would probably even colour match your shoe. The internet's favourite argument on RS6s: do you need DRC? Do you need dynamic pack? Standard suspension on a C7, sports adaptive air suspension. It does work really well, it does give you great body control, it does give you great comfort. I really like it. A lot of other people do as well, but you can upgrade it further. If you chose dynamic pack, that included a raised speed limiter from 155 to 174 miles an hour, dynamic steering, which is the variable ratio rack, and also DRC sport suspension, which is a hydraulic system rather than the air system as standard. Road testers, when the car was new, said pretty much unanimously that it offers the best body control. Some people find it slightly firm. I think it's a personal thing. Both work well, both have a comfort mode. I wouldn't say it's absolutely essential to have. One above Dynamic Pack, you could also add Dynamic Pack Plus, which is very, very easily recognised and also very rare in that it gave you carbon ceramic brakes. Desirable optional extras. The one that we get asked about most commonly is probably the panoramic glass sunroof. Was an option on all models, remains very desirable on the used market. You tend to find that you don't actually have the glass panel open all that often, but it is really, really nice because it fills the cabin with natural light, makes it feel bright, airy and spacious. Another one people really want, in fact most buyers seem to prefer, 21-inch alloy wheels rather than the standard 20s. They fill out the arches well, lend the car a lovely stance, finish off the look of it. Styling packs. As standard, RS6's got a few sort of matte silver highlight pieces around the body. You had a choice of an additional styling pack that added to the front bumper, the grills, around the exhaust, really highlighted the styling of the car. You could have that either in matte aluminium, which as the name suggests gave you those trims in a matte aluminium finish, gloss black, name suggests gloss black trims, carbon styling that replaced a few of the black pieces with carbon, or on the performance edition you could even have titanium styling pack. Although, as that had a slightly yellow champagne colour, a lot of people with the performance did switch it to one of the other colour trims. Sports exhaust system. All RS6s do have a switchable exhaust system as standard, but the standard one a little bit quiet for what is a really lovely sounding engine. Most people wanted and did go for the factory sport exhaust system, lets the engine sing, gives it lots of nice bangs and crackles on the overrun or when you're letting off the throttle. There was also the option of the Audi Sport system, a full titanium setup made by a crap of each. Very expensive, very rare, but does sound lovely if you can find it. Option packs. By the time you had a panoramic sunroof and 21s and the sport exhaust, you already had yourself a really nice RS6. But being an Audi, there is of course quite a long options list of additional features a lot of people liked. Some key ones being assistance pack, that gave you adaptive cruise control and a few other driving assists. And two different parking packs, one giving you just a reversing camera, one giving you 360 cameras. Faults and problems. The C7 RS6 might very well be the most reliable RS car that we see. Not to jinx anyone or anything, we see very, very few problems with them. That's not to say nothing happens, and if you have a little look around yourself, throw it into Google, there are two, maybe three things that do come up. The first two main ones, they kind of relate to each other. Wheels and brakes. As we were saying before, most buyers did opt for the 21-inch wheels. They look really, really good, but being a very big, wide alloy wheel, if you hit one on a curb, on a bump, on a pothole, run something over, it can buckle the wheel. This is one of those problems that, quite how bad it is, the internet makes it sound a lot worse than the reality. Unless a wheel is severely damaged, so if it does just pick up a minor buckle from hitting a pothole, it can be repaired. There's no need to replace it, and repairing alloy wheels by a qualified professional doesn't need to be all that expensive. You will know if a car has a potential problem in this area. Generally speaking, driving at motorway speed, you'll get a little bit of a vibration through the seat, through the pedals, through the steering wheel. That ties on to the second fairly common issue, brake vibration. Misuse of the brakes, so getting them really, really hot and then sitting in traffic with your foot on the pedal is not very good for the brake discs. Incorrect installation, so not cleaning the mating faces when the discs are put on, or even installing new brake discs on a car that already has a buckled alloy wheel. These can all cause a distortion in the brake disc that manifests itself as a nasty vibration through the pedal. If you have an RS6 or you're looking at buying one that you think might have a problem with vibration, as I say, the alloy wheels can, in the vast majority of cases, be repaired. Brake discs, if they have good material in them, can even very often be skimmed to avoid the cost of replacement. The third small issue that crops up occasionally really is a very, very small issue, and it's probably another one that the internet's blown out of proportion. Towards the back of the engine, there's a water hose that's reasonably near a metal clip. There have been a couple of stories where owners have reported that the clip rubbed through the hose, caused a water leak, and the hose is tricky to replace. In many C7 RS6s and RS7s coming in here through sales and service, we've never seen the leak. If it's something you're worried about or it bothers you, moving the clip a little bit further away from the hose is a 30-second job you can do yourself. Now, just because the RS6 has proved itself such a good quality car, that's no reason to be complacent when you're looking at one. It's still very, very important with a big, heavy, high-powered car to carry out your due diligence. Make sure it hasn't suffered from neglect or a lack of maintenance. Make sure it hasn't had poor quality modifications carried out that might cause you warranty or repair issues down the line. Maintenance and running costs. Again, not too painful on an RS6, pretty standard Audi stuff. 10,000 miles for an oil change or 1 year, 20,000 miles for an inspection service or 2 years. Then at 40,000 miles, you do the major service. Major service on an RS6 is an oil and inspection as a normal service, with the addition of a set of spark plugs, air filters, and Audi do also schedule at 40,000 miles, but separate to the service, changing the oil in the rear differential. If you have an RS6, thinking of an RS6, already found an RS6 and want to know what it's going to cost you to run, you can visit fontain.co.uk, click on Audi Servicing, enter the registration number of your RS6 or other Audi, VW, Seat, Skoda car, and it will give you fixed menu prices for all the routine services instantly. You can even book it online. Thanks for viewing our video. Hope you found it really, really useful. Do let us know by giving us a like. Tell us, would you buy the C7 V8 engine car over the V10 that came before it? Big question. Less power in the new car, more power in the old car. What would you buy? At Fontain Motors, we've been specialising in Audi for, at the time of filming, 25 years. We stock and sell really good, high specification, well-maintained Audis, including a lot of the S and the RS cars. If you're thinking of selling a really, really lovely Audi, we're always looking to buy them for stock. We'd love to hear from you. We maintain them as well. We do all of our service and repair work in-house. As I say, you can quote and book it online. Loan cars are available free of charge, and your digital Audi service records are updated with any work carried out by Fontain.